It looks like the man Becky Lynch has retired from WWE. This according to a brand new social media post where she essentially said as much and has the entire wrestling world talking. We're going to tell you everything we know about this situation and why, if indeed Becky Lynch is done, this is an insane moment in the history of not only WWE, but all professional wrestling. We'll talk about that. We're also going to be talking about why WWE might be adding another new member to the Bloodline soon, as we have an update on the son of a WWE legend who might join the group very soon. All that and much more coming up in this video, so be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, let's talk about Becky Lynch. Obviously, Becky Lynch has not been seen on WWE TV ever since she lost her World Heavyweight Championship to Liv Morgan in that steel cage match on Raw a couple of months ago. Ever since then, the rumblings have been fast and furious about where she's going to end up, how she's going to end up, where she's going to go. What the hell is going to happen? Everyone wants to know, right? We know for a fact, though, that she is indeed a free agent as of right now. We know for a fact that she, at this point, has no plans to come back to wrestling, has not made a decision. And we also know that, given all of that, she is still indeed a free agent. Well, here's another thing we know. Becky Lynch took to social media last night and posted the following on Instagram, quote, "It's been a hell of a career. Being the man for all of you was an honor. Being the mom for her is a privilege. Thanks for watching my bio on A&E TV." That is, of course, alluding to the A&E biography that premiered about Becky Lynch. And, of course, the mom for her is obviously talking about her daughter with Seth Rollins. And this has been something that has come up a lot when talking about Becky Lynch, her future, and where wrestling falls into things. And one of the things that I have said is the likelihood that Becky Lynch would sign somewhere, and the likelihood that, you know, she would just retire and enjoy time with her family, enjoy time with her daughter, enjoy time being the mom and living, you know, the life that she has earned at this point. I think the likelihood of that and her coming back were pretty much equal. And I think that was a decision that at the end of the day she had to make. And it looks like, at least for the time being, she has made that. And that is the decision she's moving forward with. Because you don't throw around words like, you know, like that and knowing what that would do if you weren't at least going to take a while off from professional wrestling. And at the very least, if this doesn't, you know, signal that she is 100% retired, it does signal that she is not going to be around in WWE or any other company for that matter for a while. And I think it signals that there is a new chapter to not just Becky Quinn, but or Becky Lynch, but, you know, Rebecca Quinn. I think Rebecca Quinn, the mom right now, has kind of taken the reins of things, and Becky Lynch is taking a back seat and is just going to enjoy the ride and enjoy the time with her family. And this has always been the possibility. And like, we want to obviously speculate and talk about Becky maybe going to AEW because that's like the fun thing to do. And look, it is fun, and it's one of the most exciting aspects of this era in professional wrestling, that anyone, anywhere, anytime can show up wherever they want. And like, you know, like you never know who's going to be where. And that's just what makes all of this so must-see and exciting and engaging. At the same time, though, you know, when you have someone like Becky Lynch, right, who's been there, done that, main evented Mania, won countless amounts of world championships, has one of the biggest like star-making moments I've ever witnessed in, you know, that now infamous like scene in the lead up to Survivor Series 2018 where her nose is bleeding, she beats the crap out of Ronda Rousey, and then in the crowd amongst the fans says, "Come get some." It is like that shot of her just like telling Ronda Rousey, who at that point, right, Remember, this is Ronda's first run where she was a world beater. She was the baddest woman on the planet. Still had that mystique, that aura about her. Like, for her to do that and to be unafraid of Ronda in the way that she was, like, that is what really elevated Becky Lynch and the character of the man to this, larger than life persona. And that's what the man became. And that is what propelled her to the main event of WrestleMania. And that's why she earned that spot. And there's going to be a lot of people who try to rewrite history. There are going to be a lot of people who try to say that Becky Lynch, she wasn't as good as whatever. Or there are going to be people who are, in my opinion, just wrong and say that she never had it or she doesn't got it anymore. All that crap, right? They're going to say that crap, and then they're never going to go back and watch those moments. They're never going to go back and see what those moments meant at that time and see how they still hold up and see how she's someone who, was the number one, merch seller in the entire company. She was the most popular act in the entire company for over a year. And she was able to capitalize on this momentum and this character and, like, literally be the modern day, like, almost, like, it's not a one-to-one comparison, don't worry, people in the comment section, but almost be like the Stone Cold of this era, and then, like, the man, like, just wasn't afraid of anyone, didn't care, didn't have any friends, was this tweener who just worried about winning and like, doing what she needed to in order to prove that she's the badass that she always claims that she was. And, like, that is what makes, like, Becky Lynch retiring. Like, she is, in my opinion, the greatest women's wrestler of this past generation, and that is no, I'm not trying to critique or take any credit away from other people like Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Naomi, or Bayley, or anyone else. But to me, like, from 2016 to 2022, like, that era is just that, like, I automatically think Becky Lynch. She's the face of that. And she was the face of, I think, women's wrestling for a while. And, with women's wrestling and the evolution, you can't tell that story without telling that story about Becky Lynch. Because, if we're being honest, that first WrestleMania main event with women does not happen unless she's as hot as she was in the latter part of 2018. It doesn't happen if she didn't have that momentum. It doesn't happen if all those things, if Becky Lynch didn't have the ability to be herself and create this character, the man, then we're kind of living in a very different world. I still think we get to the women having the main event of Mania, but that first one, right? And like, to have it during that time, like, who knows how long it would have taken. But shout out to Becky Lynch. She deserves all the credit that she is going to get. Hopefully, people can put aside their, like, petty clickbait grievances and just, accept the truth that, like, regardless of what you think of her, regardless of even if you think she was the best or, defined the generation, that she was, like, right up there, and she is like the man. I'm a fan. Look, people are going to be like, oh, you little fan in the comment. You like, whatever. I don't care. But roast me in the comment section. See if I care. But no, let me know what you guys think in the comment section, guys. As we move on to our next and final topic, let's talk about WWE potentially adding a new member to the Bloodline in Zilla. Fatu. Huge news we got from FightfulSelect.com regarding Zilla Fatu. Here it is. WWE have their eyes on Zilla Fatu. Fatu was spotted at SummerSlam after having travel delays and cancellations that caused him to miss a GCW booking. He's still expected at GCW shows for the time being and isn't signed to WWE yet. Now, there was a lot of reporting and speculation that Zilla Fatu was pulled from a GCW show in order to sign with WWE. Like, that has been, I think at this point pretty much debunked, that he wasn't necessarily, like, there to be signed or anything. It was mostly like, he's there. He's a part of the family. He is the son of Umaga, the late great Umaga, and he's gonna be there to support his family. And, like, that's just a normal way of things. That's why he was at SummerSlam in Cleveland. But I do think, like, you know, it's a case of he missed the GCW show because he was just, you know, he missed it because it was his travel delays. It happens. I've been there. I've missed a lot of things because of travel. Like, never fly Frontier Airlines. It is utter garbage. And I say this as I'm about to fly Frontier Airlines for Bad Blood in a couple of weeks. Hope to God I make it. But no, in all seriousness, like, it is going to be interesting because, like, Zilla Fatu is someone who, like, really came up in reality of wrestling. Like, that is the I believe Booker T's promotion where he, like, allows young people to own their craft. Fatu is also been seen on GCW. He's tagged with Jacob Fatu. So, like, there's a tie-in there. And, like, you know, being the son of Umaga makes him a natural to eventually sign with WWE one day. Like, the Bloodline story, like, one of the reasons it's never going to go away is because there is an endless cast of characters to choose from in this story, and that you can kind of bring in and use where necessary. I do think eventually we will see Zilla sign with WWE, probably in NXT. He's a very young kid. He's, like, I believe 19 years old, and he's still, like, working his way through the business. And there's a lot of areas for growth. Like, he's got a cool moveset, but, you know, I think there's time. He just needs time to get to that point, and he will get to that point. Like, I have a lot of faith in this kid. He's got the world literally at his fingertips if he wants it, and I think he'll get there. I really will. I really do think he'll get there. You know, and, like, but I also don't think WWE necessarily needs him in the storyline right now. Like, take a look at, like, the landscape of the Bloodline right now. Like, you have the return of Roman Reigns, obviously, as the original tribal chief. You have the new Bloodline, which is, of course, comprised of Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. And, like, we still have not seen Hikuleo, and Hikuleo reportedly signed with WWE. So at a certain point, we're going to get him. Like, where does he fit in, right? If Zilla Fatu were to come in, I just don't think he fits in right now. He will one day, and it will happen, but, you know, we'll see. But obviously, would love to see Zilla Fatu in WWE. I think future NXT champion for sure, and where he goes from there is sky's the limit. That's just me being very optimistic today with my takes, but the wrestling world needs a little bit of optimism, in my view. I think there's too much pessimism out there. Stop tweeting about stuff you don't like. Tweet about stuff you like. Make that the challenge for the day. The real take challenge for the day. Tweet about some wrestling that you really enjoy without tearing other wrestling down, because you can do that, even though I know most of y'all out there probably don't want to. But I still love you anyway. That's why I'm here every single day, giving you guys the latest and greatest wrestling news. So be sure, if you haven't already done so, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. And until next time, I'm Omer Q for Real Take Wrestling. Be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.